China's oldest writing, carved on bone, revealed by science. Chinese oracle bones look ordinary, turtle shells and ox shoulder blades. But etched across their surfaces is the earliest extensive body of Chinese writing yet discovered, a record that modern science is still decoding. For generations, farmers sold dragon bones to apothecaries. In 1899, Beijing scholar Wang Yirong noticed the medicine he'd been prescribed carried deliberate carvings, glyphs that resembled inscriptions on ancient bronzes. Along with Liu Yi, he began collecting every piece he could find. Wang's life ended during the Boxer Rebellion, but the spark he lit spread quickly. Excavations at Yinxu, near modern Anyang, revealed thousands of inscribed fragments from the late Shang period. These bones provided direct archaeological and textual evidence for the dynasty's later centuries, evidence you can hold in your hand. Oracle bones are mostly ox scapulae and the flat underside of turtle shells, the plastron. The bulk of inscriptions date to roughly 1250–1050 BCE. Each piece carries short records from the royal court, names, dates, offerings, outcomes. Over time, archaeologists recovered tens of thousands of fragments, enough for a genuine library of late Shang concerns. These weren't epic poems, they were tools for state divination. A diviner carved a charge, a precise question, to ancestral spirits or to a high deity known as Dai. Topics ranged from weather and harvest to warfare and royal health. Will the consort bear a son? Will it rain on the 5th day? Heated points were applied to tiny drilled pits, forcing controlled cracks through the bone. The pattern of those cracks guided the answer. The question, the interpretation, and sometimes the eventual outcome were inscribed on the same piece. The king sometimes oversaw or authorized the ritual, but specialists carried it out day to day. Open an oracle bone, and you'll often find a compact formula. A preface names the diviner and day, a charge states the question, a brief prognostication records the interpretation of the cracks, and sometimes a later verification notes what actually happened. It's bureaucracy on bone, short, datable, and specific. Scribes smoothed the surface, brushed guidelines in ink, then incised the characters. Craftsmen drilled tiny hollows on the reverse. A heated point met those pits to drive controlled cracks through the surface. Modern CT imaging shows how heat traveled along denser and thinner zones, explaining why crack patterns are repeatable enough to study. The topics are concrete: rains and harvests, border raids, illnesses, childbirth, royal hunts, eclipses, and omens. They're not prophecy in the modern sense. They're state decisions framed as consultation. Read as evidence. These bones give us administrators' concerns, a working calendar, and the earliest extensive Chinese script, without the myths layered on top. The oracle bone script wasn't crude picture writing. Scholars have identified about 4,000 signs, with 1–200–2,500 read with confidence, and many show clear lineage into later Chinese characters. From Anyang's ritual questions to the writing used by billions today, the continuity is striking. One of the longest sustained traditions of writing on Earth. From dragon bones in apothecaries to artifacts scanned in labs, these inscriptions open a 3,000-year-old window into China's past through evidence you can still read. Subscribe to Unfolding Legacy for evidence-first history.